Hey, what's up, pedal? No. What's up, redheads? That's why I count one. I count one redhead. So I could say, what's up, redhead?
Yay! Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. No.
Yeah, the Schlagbrett, the pickguard is matching, kind of, not really. Yeah. No. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm Jenny, and I have a YouTube channel that's called Jennifer James.
That's clever. I mean, that's like, holy shit, that's clever. It's your name.
Yeah, sort of.
See, if I had done that, it would have been so much easier to pronounce instead of HP42, which, by the way, is my name. Henning Pauli, HP. People don't...
What's the 42 for?
But then also it's spelled the way I would sound it out. People don't get that.
Okay.
It's stupid. If I just had called it Henning Paul, but it was meant to be for, uploading pictures of the cats and little dog videos where the dog pees in the living room and I can show Leslie, look what Bruno did. That's what the channel was for, to capture dog pee incidents. But now it's all about, I don't know, guitar shit. So you have a channel.
Yes, and I'm a total beginner. I don't know.
You don't know what this is.
Actually. Well, I'm playing an acoustic guitar since half a year now. At least I'm trying to play. And on my channel, I'm showing my progress.
So it's a brutal beginner kind of a thing.
It is.
And you chronicle how to learn an F chord and how to change strings where you approach total professionals in the field.
Yes. Because I don't know
about changing strings, whatever.
On my own,
So I thought it might be interesting to take a brutal beginner like you.
Yes.
And make fun of her.
Thank you.
No, but to kind of get you an overview of what you would have to do and where you would have to look if you were to change from acoustic guitar to electric guitar, which of course you want to do because playing electric guitar makes you so much cooler.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I tried it at Musikmesse and it was so much fun.
She got a little lesson from Christian Way, which is Glenn Fricker's guitar player, who's freaking awesome. Hey, Christian. I still owe you something, Christian. Please write me because I forget about it all the time. So, you know nothing about electric guitars?
Yeah, nothing.
No. Okay, so we could sit here forever.
Yeah, I guess.
So, what does electric guitar even mean? Does it mean you need to plug them into the wall or something? I mean,
you need an amp for sure.
Okay, you need an amp.
Yeah, and you need a cable to connect it to the amp.
But the guitar itself doesn't actually have power. You know that, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't have a whole a body that's cut out. So.
No, not that. I mean, there's actually no electricity flowing into the guitar through here. The guitar is creating a very, very, very tiny current. You know what induction is?
No.
Have you ever been in school?
I don't know the German. I don't know what this means in English.
Induktion.
Okay, yeah.
So you take a magnet
and
you wrap some wire around it. And now you take some metal and you swipe it along the wire. What happens is in the magnet, in the wire, I know shit about this. In the wire, a current gets happening.
Something.
So you take a magnet, wire around it, metal along.
And the magic happens.
And then all of a sudden in the wire there's a current, which is directly proportional to this. So you take a string, which is metal, and you vibrate it along a wire that's wrapped around a magnet. And what happens is in that wire, there's a current, which is directly proportional to the vibration. So you make a string. See that pole right there?
Yeah.
That's a magnet.
Yeah.
And there's a copper wire around these 6 magnets. So what's happening is you play the strings and that vibration generates an electricity, a very small electricity in the pickup, which is directly proportional to that vibration.
So actually you don't need the body?
There's a huge discussion about tone wood right now, the tone wood debate, how much the thing is, the pickup doesn't pick up the body. It picks up the vibration of the string. But how well does the string vibrate? How long does it vibrate? And that is affected by the body.
Yeah.
So
true.
yes, it is. Okay, I'm sorry. really, the whole tonal debate is freaking ridiculous because I pick up a guitar made out of mahogany or one made out of maple, and there is a difference. I'm not imagining that difference.
Yeah.
With the same pickups, it will still sound different.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is why there is a difference between different body woods. There is a difference between... Leslie, can you see that somewhere? Yes. Top guitar, top camera. This is a bolt-on, which means the neck is screwed on.
Yeah.
So it's actually just in this pocket right here, hopefully perfectly fit into this pocket, and then it's bolt on.
Yeah.
Which means I can take the neck off if I want to. And there's guitars where the neck is glued in. It's a little bit more involved process. Usually it's also called a set neck. Eingeleimter Hals in the German. And that is usually a guitar that's a little bit more expensive because it's a more elaborate process. And you can fuck up. Here, if I fuck up, I take the neck out, I sand it down a bit. If it's glued in, I gotta do it right.
Yeah.
And you don't want any air to be when it's glued in because you want a very solid foundation so that it's as much as one piece as you can.
Okay.
So that's what an electric guitar is. Mm-hmm. So why is there a difference between those pickups? Why are there three? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. What's the point? Maybe the one is for the higher tunes and the other one's for the lower tunes and something like this? I don't know.
Okay, well, this is why you're here. You don't know.
Like this.
If you knew, you wouldn't have to be here.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, look at this. I'm playing here. How would you describe the sound?
It's nice.
Not nice. Nice is not...
Soft sound. This is my guitar. This is my acoustic guitar.
Okay, I'll give you two sounds.
Yeah.
Describe the difference.
This is a fuller sound.
It's fuller, it's rounder, less bitey, more bass, and it's softer in a way. Mm-hmm. This is harsh, has more bite, more high end, not so much roundness to it.
Yeah.
Now, if I put a pickup here or put a pickup there,
it's a total difference.
It will make exactly that difference.
Yeah.
I can still, of course, put that pickup on and strum here, which will result in a warmer sound compared to strumming here with this pickup on, but the placement of the pickup determines the sound a bit.
Okay.
Okay? So that means this one will sound warmer and rounder. If I take exactly the same pickup and put it here, it will have less bass. It will be bitier. Okay?
Yeah. Do they all have 3 pickups?
No.
Okay.
There's guitars with 1 pickup, ones with 2, 3 different pickup. You have a 5-position switch here. So you have 5 positions.
This is for the pickup.
Yes.
Which one? Okay.
So right now I'm on this one. Mm-hmm. In the middle I'd be here. In the back I'd be here.
Yeah.
So this will do both of these.
Between these two, yeah.
And this will do both of these. Mm-hmm. Now, there's cool things you can do with electricity. There's something called in phase and out of phase. Mm-hmm. You have 2 sine waves. You put them on top of each other exactly the same. They will add to each other.
Yeah.
If you phase reverse one, 180...
Who's coming there? I know who's coming there.
So, if you phase reverse one of them, taking that sine wave and making 180 degrees reversed, sit your ass down, lady!
Hey! Good to see you. Hi.
Hi, Henning.
Kiana. Which is, she's like way too tall for this setup here.
This isn't working.
This is, well, just could you hunch down the whole time?
No.
No. You want to get yourself a different chair?
Should I sit on the floor?
No, then you're too small.
Leslie has a chair in front of the piano that you can get.
Awesome.
So if you phase reverse the other one, you have so the sound of this one will be deducted from this one. Mm-hmm. You'll subtract it, which will be a little bit of a hollow sound. It won't be fuller by adding 2 of them. It'll be a thinner sound. Mm-hmm. So you can do electrically stuff like this. So these are called single coils.
Okay.
because it's one coil each. They do hum or buzz. If I go to a distorted sound here, you hear that?
Yeah, I do.
Now, if I put two of them together, I can eliminate that.
Yeah.
That is simply just what single coils do. They do sound a little bit wiry, a little bit thinner than humbuckers. Humbuckers are two of them stacked together, and it says it in the name, humbucker. They were meant to eliminate the hum by doing exactly that, taking two together. But if they're always on together, and you add them, you get a warmer, fatter, rounder sound, less drahtig, less wiry, and more wiry. More less metallic and just fuller.
Yeah.
So this is a Strat style guitar. This is a Harley Benton ST62. And that is, you asked, do they all have three pickups? This is one that has three single coils, and that is very traditional for that type of guitar. It's
Okay.
one of the archetypical
Isn't it just archetype? Archetypical? I don't know.
It's a typical guitar thing. It's one of the classic shapes.
Yeah.
Now, let me show you some sounds. This is not a guitar that you would play super heavy stuff with. Of course, you can argue about that. Because these will sound thinner. But that has a niceness to it. So if I go in the position, it should have that hollow sound. Because I'm deducting this one from that. But that's a really beautiful thing about the Strat style guitar. Okay, in the middle, which is rarely used, funny enough. This back position is these two, which is great.
That sound.
And that in clean is probably too quacky, too bitey. But that's nice when you're doing distorted stuff. See, that's too dense, too fat. If I want articulation, I want the bite. So if you were to buy an electric guitar, obviously the guitar wouldn't be enough. You need a guitar, you need an amp. Let's forget about pedals for now. I'm sorry guys, let's forget about pedals. So what would be your budget?
My budget?
Yes. If you were to set, that's not what you have,
Okay.
which is probably nothing, because it all goes into hair dye.
Yeah.
But if you had to set yourself a budget for a guitar and an amp.
Maybe, both together?
Yeah.
I don't know how much they are.
Well,
so,
give me something, I tell you yes or no.
Maybe 300 both together?
Okay. Kiana, can we do that?
That's possible.
Yeah?
It's not gonna be amazing,
But it's possible.
but it's possible. Well, in the lower price range, you can buy a lot of, China stuff. Ibanez used to have some great guitars in the lower price range. How much is that Roadcore super cheap guitar that they sent you? Do you know that?
I don't know the exact prices, and like 150, 100 sorry.
Hey,
Like
Kiana!
750 or something?
No, not yours.
No. Oh,
The cheaper one.
I don't know what price that is.
I'm not gonna comment on the cat she has on her sleeve.
Sorry, I'm tired. I just came from a festival.
Yeah, of course. Mhm. I hear that.
I don't know how much the one is.
Okay,
they
so
just
we don't
sent
know.
me.
But the thing is, in the super low price range, I think Fender has the Squiers, which there can be some good ones, there can be some bad ones. So with Squier, I'm gonna do some videos on them hopefully and see what Squier has to offer in the below 200 price range. But you're looking at a guitar below 200 because you want to get an amp probably for 100 or a little bit above, so that it's got at least some form of halfway decent sound. Now, let's look at a couple of guitars, and I'm going to pick Harley Bentons because I really think that in the super budget price range, Harley Benton offers amazing value.
Okay.
They simply do. Because there isn't any middleman. That's the only reason why they can be so cheap. Thomann has the Harley Benton guys, which kind of come up with the idea and say, oh, okay, let's do a Strat style guitar, Tele style guitar, or something original, whatever. And they go to China, find the best factory to do it, and then they get it directly from China and sell it direct. So there's no distributor in between, there's no brand in between. That is why these guitars are probably 100 to 200 easily cheaper than other brands at the same quality. So this is like $110 or $120. And it's a really solid Strat style guitar. So if you bought this, you'd still have about $150 for amp and the stand and all that stuff. So if you were to look for a Strat style guitar, see what I did with it.
Yeah, I know.
Then this would actually be a really good choice. I am eager to try the Squier stuff and see what they have to offer in this price range, because that also kind of comes direct from Fender to Thomann, so they're cutting out the middleman. So Fender might have something to offer in this price range, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried it yet. This is not your metal axe, because this will be very bitey and too thin. This is great for a pop rock, a million sounds, of course. But if you really want metal stuff or something heavier, you want something richer and thicker.
Yeah.
But let's look at some other single coil options, okay? Now this would not be in your price range. This is a Fender Mexico. It clocks in at like $1150. But this is another classic style. That's a Telecaster. And actually, I think one of the first guitars, the first electric guitar ever, was a Telecaster style. It had one pickup, and on the Strat style, you could see that there was a shaping here for your arm.
Yeah.
And was a shaping here for your, well, in my case, belly. In your case, something else. Was that sexist? Am I gonna get shit for that?
No, but I mean,
You
you
wouldn't-
also have something else, so like...
And Leslie, if you're laughing up there, don't. That is mean. No one ever give me shit about her giving her shit, okay? That's just... I'm not taking that. You still get your chocolate.
No.
So this has 3 positions. This one, or in the middle. And it's a super mega simple guitar. It's a Telecaster. Can't get a lot more simple than that. Ha!
Yeah.
Wow. Just imagine it's tuned. But you see, it's bitey again. It's got very sharp attack. So this is beautiful for country stuff. For anything where you want very clear, very precise sounds. Very, very wiry also. I would say probably a little bit, I can't really describe it, fatter, rounder, in different than a Strat.
It is.
Okay, but not the most ergonomic guitar. Without the shapings, it's pretty much just...
Is it heavy? It is.
Well, it depends on the guitar.
Well, this is heavy.
But if you get a mahogany guitar, which will make it rounder and even fatter, mahogany weighs more. So mahogany guitars are heavier. So this is a Telecaster. That's the other Fender style. That's the other very classic shape, which you of course have seen a lot. So you can recognize it on the headstock, which is smaller, and the single cut, and this very iconic kind of bridge, where you can see you can't even adjust the saddles individually.
Yeah.
You have kind of like, you have very, very little options in terms of adjusting things on a Tele.
There's so many guitars here.
Now here we have a Les Paul style guitar. Obviously, I'm saying invented, or what company made the Les Paul? Gibson. What does Les Paul mean?
It's French for Paul.
Or Les Paul. No, that's actually a name. That was actually a jazz guitar player
Okay.
who recently died.
Okay.
Great guitar player, and they made this guitar for not this. This is a Harley Benton copy of that. It is shaped slightly different, and this angle thing, Harley Benton did this. So this is a modernized version of that. This thing we're clocking at 250. They do make cheaper ones. You can buy a Harley Benton for about 150 in the Les Paul type or style. This is an absolutely amazing guitar for the money.
Yeah.
So other companies, you would probably have to spend 3 times more to get something similar to that. And I'm sticking to that, whoever's going to give me shit about it. Now you see no plate. This is a glued in neck. You have 2 humbuckers and 3 positions. More controls. On the others, you had 1 volume for both and 1 tone to kind of make it duller sounding. Here you have volume and tone individually. So this is the front, this is the back, this is the front tone. More stuff to remember. But the sound will very clearly be very different.
Yeah.
And also out of tune. That wiry is gone. You hear that? It's much wider, warmer, rounder.
That's because of the 2 pickups. Like the humming thing.
Humbucker, yes, the hummingbird thing. The humbucker. It's because of the 2 pickups, but also mahogany. And neck glued in. So it all plays a part. So you have the mahogany body, mahogany neck. It is a different connection. And the humbuckers. So it all kind of plays a part. Yeah. But now if I'm distorting that, see, it's in the back, but it's not so bitey as the others. It's a much bigger, fatter sound.
Yeah.
Ergonomically, it's different. For me, a Strat style guitar sits better on my leg. It's just what you're used to. This feels very back heavy.
Yeah.
So it always feels as if I'm kind of having to hold it or have to hold it here. For me, a Strat just sits beautifully. Tally sits beautifully. This kind of feels as if it's doing this all the time. But it's just a matter of getting used to. So if you start with this as an electric guitar, it'll just feel normal to you. What is the other? Mensur. Mensur in English. Scale.
Okay.
The mensur or the scale is the length between these 2 points.
Okay.
For a Strat, it's 25.5 inches, something centimeter. I don't know. And I think the typical Les Paul is 24.5, maybe, I think. So it's shorter.
Yeah.
So it feels as if everything is a little bit more compact. And it also means the string tension is different. So it's just a different feel for the guitar. So.
And you can adjust this here?
Tiny bit. This is to adjust the intonation. Which means if the string is in tune here, open, is it still in tune on the 12th fret? It might be totally fine here, but the higher you get, the more it goes out of tune. And what you do is you adjust the length of the string a tiny bit to make sure it's really in tune everywhere.
Okay.
So if the higher you get on the fretboard, all of a sudden your tone isn't really in tune anymore, then you start moving around this thing a bit, which is why I said on the Telecaster, it's a little bit of a problem because you're adjusting it for two strings at the same time.
Yeah.
So you don't have that many adjustment options. All the guitars you've seen so far, well, the Strat style wasn't, but are fixed bridge guitars. Meaning you don't have, this cannot be vibrated. You don't have a Floyd Rose on it. I highly recommend that any guitar you buy as your first guitar doesn't have any kind of tremolo on it.
Yeah.
Because that is just asking for a lot of shit trouble. Because that thing, you can bend the strings down and loosen the tension with a whole system with springs in the back. The problem with that is you tune one string, it pulls it up, all the other strings are out of tune. It's just asking for trouble. And especially on inexpensive guitars, those systems suck balls.
Oh, okay.
They're just not good. So go for a guitar that has a fixed bridge, and then you don't have that problem. So here you're at $250, which probably means you might have to get a little bit more money for an amp. But if you're looking for a Les Paul type guitar, this thing will stay with you a long time. The SC550 from Harley Benton, I absolutely highly recommend. I got two, and I'm not shitting you, I got them. Moving on to another classic shape. This is kind of an SG type. Again, by the big. Who makes the Les Pauls?
Gibson.
So,
Sorry.
yeah, I know. Tired, festival. Who did you see at this festival, Kiana?
What do you mean?
What band?
Like local bands.
Local band?
Well,
So
like
no
from-
Clippy Cloppy?
No.
Oh, okay.
But some really awesome bands.
Yeah, you say that.
Yeah.
Were they doing...
Bronson AD, Their Decay, Deceiver. Yeah. Of course you don't know it.
Are they doing any Hanson covers?
No Hanson, sorry.
Then how were they good?
Let me see.
Nee, bop.
No.
Because that's good shit.
Really not.
The original, or the real, the Gibson, this is of course a slightly changed alternative to the Big G, is completely symmetrical. So both horns are the same height.
They are?
They should be.
Okay.
If it was a real SG.
Okay.
Here, it's not. This is more what ESP did, ESP, the guitar company, to have an SG that's a little bit different, and then Harley Benton kind of went with the SG route, with the ESP route. But they would be symmetrical, and in the back here you see, this is also asymmetrical, but the
Yeah.
SG would just be totally symmetrical.
Okay.
Also, the SG would have the four knobs that the Les Paul has. So this, for me, makes more sense. Tone, one volume, 3-position switch, humbuckers again, and again, glued-in neck, mahogany.
Seems like it's one.
Yeah, it is. Because it's painted this way. But this is an SG is kind of like it used to be like a cheaper version of a Les Paul.
Okay.
Of course, now it's not cheap anymore. Gibson takes just almost the same amount of money. This is this will actually be in your price range. This is a DC double cut, DC custom. Custom probably means that it's got the gold shit and the binding. This is what we call a binding.
Yeah.
So there's some guitars that just have the fretboard wood, but when it's got an Einfassung, when it's got a binding, it has a binding. That's how I'm explaining that.
Wow.
Wow, huh? Come on! If the guitar has a binding, it has a binding. So that's what, see that, that could be on like super, very expensive guitars. You could even have this to be a little strap of wood. This is just a creamy kind of plastic.
But it looks good.
This is what we call a volute, which Gibson doesn't really do. It's to prevent the headstock from breaking. It's just more wood here to make it stronger.
Yeah.
And we can there we can see it. And there's actually a lot of videos on YouTube where people are playing their Les Pauls or their SGs live, and the headstock goes because the strings are pulling on it.
Yeah.
And you make this a weak joint, the headstock literally snaps off.
Wow.
On guitars worth $2,000 or $3,000.
Oh my god.
So I'm thinking Gibson just get with the program and make it stronger. So this is about 169. And I think it's an excellent guitar. The paint job is great. I think all the shaping is nice. It's just a very nice guitar, and it sounds extremely thick. Very fat. You hear that? Very nice and round and thick tone. which of course you have to play when you start playing electric guitar. Everyone's got to play Smoke on the something. Have we ever played Smoke on the Water?
No.
Seriously not?
Why not?
Seriously not.
You shitting me?
No, we really never played Smoke on the Water.
Till next week you come in and you play Smoke on the Water.
Okay.
It'll take like about 3 minutes,
Yeah.
okay? Or 2. Or 1.5. If it takes more than 70 seconds, you lose
I
it.
suck.
You suck. Okay. Talking about tuners. Buying a cheap-ass guitar is a problem if it's not of enough quality because of the tuners. Because if you're a beginner, tuning, it can suck. It can be really tough. If the tuners have jumpy points and you're turning it all of a sudden, there's like, okay, it jumps too far, it's very annoying. So guitars with sufficient tuner quality is absolutely essential for a beginner. If the action is too high, you're fighting with the guitar. I mean, you want a guitar of sufficient quality that it doesn't feel like a beginner guitar. Because with a beginner guitar, you're playing like a beginner.
Yeah.
So the guitar should not hold you back. It should work for you even in 2-3 years when you can play a lot more. And then you shouldn't have the feeling that, this is still a beginner guitar. And that's what I like about the Harley Bentons. I can pick this guitar up and play just exactly like my 5,000-6,000 euro guitar. And the playability and everything is so that I don't feel like I'm playing a piece of shit guitar. It's still absolutely adequate. Obviously, I like to play my very expensive guitars, but this is still inspiring and a fun instrument.
Yeah.
So that's the SG type. Just imagine it to be an actual SG. You know what I'm talking about. Double cut. The thing about the SG is, and why for me it's a difficult beginner guitar. A lot of people start on it, and that's because Epiphone, which is the this inexpensive daughter company of Gibson, sells these really cheap, so you can get one for like $99, $160, whatever. They're not the greatest guitars, people. But everything about the SG is, first of all, do you see this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's very top heavy. And that's because everything on this guitar has been kind of shifted to the left. So this is further to the left than it would be on another guitar. And everything feels as if I'm not playing like this. I'm playing like this. So when I'm playing, it feels like I have to reach further to get to the F.
Yeah.
Everything feels as if I have to do this. So when I'm playing an SG, it takes me a couple minutes to adjust. Now, if you start on an SG and you always play an SG, then any other guitar for you will feel like, what am I doing over here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of will make you, probably not, but it kind of make you an SG player for life. Because that will feel like home and everything else will kind of feel odd. So I suggest, I think, maybe, please don't hate me, not to start on an SG because it's so different.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do start on them because you get them relatively cheap as copies from Epiphone and other companies. If you do like to start on one, this is a really good one. That leaves us with one or two other things.
Which one are you playing?
At the moment I'm playing an Ibanez Roadcore, which is a Roadcore shape.
It's Ibanez's own thing.
It's a really nice shape. I think it's pretty guitar shape. It works for me.
Now this is a semi-hollow. Now there's a term semi-acoustic. There's a term electroacoustic, which is what you have. You have an acoustic guitar, but it can be
Plugged in.
It can be plugged in and amplified.
Yeah.
Now there's a semi-acoustic, which is this thing over there, which is completely hollow. Okay.
They're different?
Yeah. Well, if you look inside, this one's completely hollow.
Yeah.
And it has pickups. This one, if you look inside, it has a big block in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So this has a big block in the middle and two hollow sides. If it was completely empty, then it's a then it's a hollow body, and this is a semi-hollow because it's not all the way hollow.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So obviously this has more, it's closer to an electric sound than the fully open one, but both of them are being picked up with pickups. That's why they're called pickups. I don't know who's watching this video and why. So the sound is, I don't want to say closer to an acoustic, but obviously more open.
Yeah.
Not amazing for super high gain stuff, because this picks up the sound and then they're prone to feedback. So you get them to feedback, which is not desirable. But these are primarily used for bluesy and jazzy stuff. So and
nice
beautiful bluesy stuff. Now the nice thing about this one is, that's the plus version, the HP35 Plus. Insert advertising here. Show me the money! What? Oh, I don't know.
You're weird.
And you're just now figuring that out. This has coil tap or coil split. One of the two, I don't know the difference. Please comment below for the millionth time. I can never remember. Where you can make a single coil out of this by putting this up.
Oh.
And now it's got a single coily sound. So that, of course, makes it a really flexible guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, that's pretty much. Oh, then of course we have heavy, stylish guitars, which you of course can get from Harley Benton, which I don't have. Do I have one here? Of course, there's the best Harley Benton out there, which is the HP 42 Signature. But that's not any kind of normal guitar. That's a fucked up kind of my idea of a guitar. Well, then you have stuff like this. That's a modern Strat style guitar. Yeah. This is about $850, so no, that's not your price range, but you can get them in cheaper as well. The idea here is what I told you not to get. Floyd Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Because the strings get locked here, so you see they get clamped in, and so they're between here and there, they're fixed. So it means they can't slip around, and you can do. If you really need to do that. But the problem is, if one string breaks or is out of tune, or you're tuning one, you're actually doing this. You're putting the whole thing up. And then the rest of your strings will be too low. And then you're tuning these. And then all of a sudden you find yourself tuning for 2 freaking hours. And for a beginner, this can be a problem. So in the back here, there's springs that are pulling it back, and they're holding it exactly in balance. It can be a pain in the ass. And if you have a cheap version of this, because on a guitar for $200, yes, you can buy them. And you can buy them from Harley Benton. I would say don't. Because on a guitar for $200, this is not going to be of sufficient quality. Because a good Floyd Rose will cost you $200-300 by itself. Just this part.
Yeah, wow.
So it doesn't make sense. But a modern guitar like this has humbuckers, Floyd Rose, and I can make them single coil. Do you hear how it's...
Yeah.
So humbucker is totally quiet, and that's buzzing. So because we have single coils, but that makes it flexible. See, that wiry thing goes away and it gets fatter. It's either or. thin now because it's a single coil in the back. But this, of course, is fun for this. If you really want to annoy the living shit out of your neighbors. Now here's the question. Is this still in tune after everything I just did?
It should.
And that's why this is $850. Because yes, it is still in tune after everything I just did. You couldn't do this on a guitar for like $170 with the Floyd Rose. So stay the fuck away from anything like this. Now, in terms of amps, if you have $100 and $120, I will probably still say what I told Kiana years ago, which was
The Fender Mustang one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fender, not the new ones. The GTs are not, well, let's not go into that. But the Mustang 2 series, there's a small one which is about 110, something like this. It's a digital amp, it's a modeling amp, but it has a lot to offer. Mm-hmm. Now that is something I would always recommend because that series is really great. There's back then we called them Brüllwürfel.
Yeah.
Screamy cubes. You get like guitars in a set. With a little amp with like a distortion channel and a clean channel. Are these super great? I don't know. If your amp isn't fun, then playing guitar isn't fun.
Yeah.
So it really makes sense to have a halfway decent amp. Joyo makes the DC-15, which I don't quite know where to get it. I think you can get it in Germany at Music Store as a Fame rebranded thing. It's a little thing. It's a little digital amp and it's this big, but it's really not shitty and it's like $59. Mm-hmm. You can't take it seriously as an amp, but it has some effects, it has some decent sounds, and it's kind of fun to play for low budget. So if you get a better guitar, but that amp will kind of hold you over till you have money for an amp. Now, if you want something that from the get-go can make you happy and has a real sound, modeling is always, especially in the lower price range, it's a placeholder. It's a placeholder till you actually can get a tube amp. Because a tube amp keeps you warm in the winter, which is really why we want them. But give me one of these there.
The small ones?
Yeah.
Which one?
Give me the blue one. Now, budget-wise, it might be a problem. If you buy like the ST62 for $110, this will be $150. Mm-hmm. This has no effects. This has nothing. This is just a clean channel, and in this case, actually a different clean channel. But if you get one of the others, you have a clean channel and a distorted channel, but that's it. Not a million sounds. But both sounds are really good for the money. The special thing about the Bantamps is they have Bluetooth, which is kind of a nice little gimmick. But in your case, you could actually pump your phone through it and practice. Now, with this, you need a speaker, which you could buy. I don't know what the cheap Harley Benton speaker is. We're talking about kind of breaking your budget possibly a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that Strat style guitar, $110 or $120. This for $150, and then a speaker. But you'd have a setup that is tubes, is real, is not necessarily really a placeholder. This thing can get loud if you want to. It's 20 watts, hybrid. Hybrid means tube in the preamp, transistor power amp. But with the Bluetooth, this could be good for you. Again, no effects. There's no reverb. There's no delay. There's no...
But the effects are fun. So
Yes, but you could...
You can plug the effects in between, or...
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You could put a delay in the effects loop, which is the best place to put it. You can put it in front of the amp, meaning guitar goes into the delay goes in here.
Yeah.
But as soon as your amp is distorting, having the delay before the distortion doesn't sound good. Mm-hmm. So the delay then needs to be behind the distortion, behind the thing that makes it go, which that's what the effects loop is for.
Yeah.
So let's say you got, I don't know, give me the red one. Why did I tell you to give me the blue one?
Because you're weird.
Because you're weird. Your face is weird.
I know I'm weird. Lisa, I can imitate.
So this is a different type. Or is it just
It's this one has a different kind of distortion. So if you got this, that's like $120. This is like 150. So we're already at 270. Let's say you got a delay for some echo stuff. That's a Harley Benton digital delay. It's like $30. It takes a battery, so you can battery power it, meaning you don't need a power supply for it. Because a power supply for guitar effects can clock in at quite a bit of money. But you need a speaker. So I'm thinking the cheapest would probably be to buy like the Harley Benton 112 at, I don't know, $50-$60. That's not the great one, but that's the okay one, let's say. So we'd be breaking your budget by $50-$60. So let's say 360, 370, and you have a real amp, no modeling. It doesn't have a billion sounds. It's got a distorted sound and it's got a clean sound, but they're good. They feel real. They feel alive.
Yeah.
You have a decent guitar. You have a fun effect to play with, and a speaker that's like not a little kiddie speaker, but an actual 112. It's a real guitar speaker. So you'd be well on your way to a real setup.
Yeah.
Meaning if you get a different amp later, you can still use a speaker.
That's good.
If you get a guitar that's heavier, you could still use this amp and have fun with it.
Yeah.
This amp will take pedals. So if you want to put a different distortion in front of it, you could do that. Whereas if you have a cheap modeling amp, putting a distortion pedal in front of that is not going to be fun. So this would be a setup that will make you happy in the long run, and when you exchange one of the elements, the rest will still hold up.
Yeah.
So I think that makes the most sense. I'm guessing you would probably play heavier stuff.
Yeah, because with the acoustic one, I can play already like the
But
beautiful sound.
You probably embrace a little bit of the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you actually pick your shirt based on her hair color, or is it a coincidence?
That's coincidence.
She says, and she lies. Because she does like the color coordination. And then we picked this amp.
Yeah.
Come on.
It makes me very happy. Yes.
And look at me. Look at me.
Wow.
Wow.
Even better.
As if we knew. So we might find something from the Benton or from maybe another company in this price. Well, with 110, we're kind of pushing it. That's got a humbucker in it. Because for heavier stuff, you want a humbucker. So a good guitar for you would actually be one with a single coil and a humbucker.
Yeah.
So you have kind of both, best of both worlds. But definitely in the back, a humbucker would be good because that gives you those heavier sounds. I have no idea if this was in any way
in any way? Is that what you wanted to say? In any way helpful, informative?
Yeah. What would you say? Probably not, huh?
It was a compact explanation of many things.
I hope this was helpful for someone. I hope it was helpful for her. If not, she was just really polite, listening to me for an hour.
No, actually, before I came here, I had no clue about it at all. And now I know that there are single coils, that there's humbucker, and that you can put
She
amps
actually paid
in
attention.
between.
Look at that. What the crap?
Yeah, because
Weird,
it's interesting.
This is so weird. Because usually no one ever pays attention to what I say.
I want to learn something, though.
I'm going to say thanks for watching, and why don't you end the video by pushing your channels, and I'm going to go away. Go, dude.
He's gone,
go,
Kiana.
Go.
Right.
We
Take
can
over.
do whatever we want.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Henning's channel. You should check ours out.
Absolutely.
Go away from Henning and come over to us.
Yeah. Go and subscribe The Adventures of Guitar Girl
And Jennifer James. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for watching and have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Flew high when spring began. We took our time soaring hand in hand. When you're young, you will make mistakes, but I'd do it again. again for your sweet escape. I love a world that is good to birds. I love you so much it sometimes hurts. When we glide it is hard to frown. You lift me up the ground, don't